Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stanificent Newsroom, where we bring you the latest news and updates from Nigeria and around the world, from breaking stories to in-depth analysis. Stay tuned as we delve into the headlines and stories shaping our world today.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Emmanuel Adeyemi, and here with me is
Adaba Michael.
Welcome to Stanificent Newsroom, where we discuss the happenings in Nigeria and the world at large. Now to the headlines. Loan Sharks NDPC investigate over 400 cases of privacy breaches. FG, federal government ramping up oil investment to boost revenue generation. CBN raises capital base for mega banks to 500 billion naira. Federal poly offer students stages protest over SUG election and others. Okwama massacre, military contemplates bounty on wanted suspects. Access holding plans of $1.5 billion capital raising program. Affidavit forgery. Kogi SDP witness contradicts self at tribunal. The president of Nigeria, in response to the tragic news of the slain Nigerian soldiers, has vowed a national honors and a befitting burial for all slain Nigerian soldiers. Egypt increases fuel prices following depreciation of local currencies. Now to the news in full. The president of Nigeria, in response to the tragic news of the slain Nigerian soldiers, has vowed a national honors and a befitting burial for all slain Nigerian soldiers. It was recorded at a really disturbing news was reported in the early hours of Saturday, March 16, 2024, when the Nigerian army tragically recovered about 14 lifeless bodies of soldiers killed by members of the Okwama community, Delta State. The men were under the supervision of the general officer commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam. Tragically, neither the soldiers nor the brigade boss, Lieutenant Colonel O.H. Ali, would live to recount the narrative of a harmony mission gone fetish. As recorded by Stanificent Newsroom, it was recorded that the army initially went there for a peacemaking raid. So how did it turn to a bloodshed of losing about 14 soldiers? What do you think in the first place even happened?
Well, I think this is a planned attack against the military. This community, the Okwama community, I think they felt that the military is not there for peacekeeping, that they have been arranged by the other community against them. So they felt the way to go about it is to take laws into their hands and perpetrate this evil act.
Wow. So regarding the military, actually, the soldiers of 181 Land or Water Capable Brigade of the Nigerian Armed Force, that was their platoon or stuff, were on a quiet and military mission after a detailed instance of mutual conflict between Okwama and Okoloba people group on Ugeli South and Bomadi local government of Delta State. So I think the information got to the Nigerian Army, according to what we researched and articles around Nigeria. The information go to them, so they went there initially, according to a lot of information. They went there to settle between the Okoma community and the Okoloba people. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So especially say that soldiers were trapped and killed without hesitation. Like you said, it felt like a planned thing. By an equipped youth group of local area in the most blasphemous way. If you go further into the news, you'll see that they were not just killed; they were chopped. Cut, head, limbs, stomach. Are you sure? Okay, now if you think it was planned, what do you think the main issue was? What were the youth of Okoma community, what were they thinking to do such to commit such atrocities?
Well, I just like I said, they did this to remind their how will I put it?
The other community.
The other community, that if we can do this to a whole uniform men, think of what will happen to you when we get to you if you don't leave this piece of land for us.
Okay, so do you think it's about property? Do you think it was about land?
I think that this thing has been a longer issue between the two communities, but it is pegged on this land dispute.
Wow.
But I believe that before this issue, yes, we have been hearing of the simple issue between the two communities. But for military to have intervened in this issue shows that it was going out of hand. So, and people that invited the military thought it was that military coming will actually help to calm down the situation. But the Okwama community felt otherwise. That this military presence in our midst means that these people want to use the armed forces against us.
But okay, if it's as the way you're saying it, I really think, should he have gone to the point of battering these men? I mean, they were found in conditions that were non-human, like according to the statistics and articles that we had read. They were found somewhere, their heads were severed, hands, stomach. Was this like to send a message to the opposite? And but are they not aware that such atrocities against the Nigerian army is against the nation as a whole?
Well, at that point,
because for me, it sounds like you are defending them.
Yeah.
Because I really think there is nothing that should be enough to for them to perform such harm to the military. I mean,
I think that at that point in time, all that matters to them is them sending a message. Not just to the neighboring community they are having issue with, is to the whole country, because this thing is a national embarrassment as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely,
it's a national embarrassment that a community who killed about 14 soldiers, including a high-ranking officers. I think at that point in time they were not thinking straight. But I am happy that at least they have been declared wanted, and to say that a monarch was among them, that will go a long way to tell you that this is actually a planned attack.
Wow.
It was planned very well. It's not a one-day plan attack.
This is tragic. However, on Wednesday, I mean, on the lighter mode on Wednesday, which was the 20th of March 2024 night, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GSFR, promised that the sacrifices of the 16 soldiers, that's 14 soldiers and the 2 senior officers, that's the major and the lieutenant colonel, 16 altogether, that were killed at Ukoma Ugeli South local government area of Nigeria. On Wednesday, the 20th of March 2024 night, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised that the sacrifices of 16 soldiers killed at Ukoma Ugeli area of Delta State will not be in vain. Talking during the breaking of Ramadan fast at State House, Abuja, with Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and the initiatives of the House, Tinubu said that the departed military personnel will be offered befitting burials and national honors and distinctions. I mean, to finalize, what do you really think about the approach by the president?
I think it's a nice move by the president. They actually sacrificed their life for the nation, not just the community, the warring communities. There are national officers, and it's a nice move by the president. It is a right move in the right direction. The families should also be looked after. The families they left behind, and not just giving them befitting burials and national honors. I think that the families, also the children, the wives, they should be looked after properly by the country. That is what I think. It's a nice move.
Thank you very much. That's it on our first full story for the day. We're going to commence to the next story for the day. Welcome once again to Stanificent Newsroom. Now to our international news. Egypt increases fuel prices following depreciation of local currency. It is no longer news that the economic system of the world is perilous to the extent that the Egyptian government raised their fuel cost on Friday, 22nd March 2024, in a move that is undoubtedly compound inflationary tensions on a general striving population. The new costs were declared on the Bureau's Facebook page and became effective this Friday, 22nd March 2024 morning. The cost of diesel, the primary fuel for transport of individuals and merchandise, rose from 8.5 Egyptian pounds, that is 0.18 cents in dollars, to 10 pounds, that is 0.21 cents per liter. Egypt, a net importer of energy, expanded the cost of 95 octane fuel to 13.5 Egyptian pounds, that is about $0.29 per liter, from 12.5 pounds. As you can see from the statistics, the prices of Egypt net fuel has increased in a distinct way. The government claimed that the rises were caused by the global rise in energy prices following the Red Sea turmoil and the increased cost of importing energy as a result of the local currency depreciation. I mean, one of the most interesting things about this report is fuel consumption or fuel or currency depreciation is not just peculiar to us as Nigeria. It's something that is around the world. And I mean, what do you have to say? Just understand the fact that Egypt as a country is experiencing this situation where they have to raise their fuel prices, just so they can meet up with the demands that happen due to their falling in currency. How did this change the perspective about your nation, and how did it also change your perspective about the fact that they are making plans, to fix it?
Well, when I heard this news, one thing that came into my mind was that the fact that during the last election in Nigeria, one of our presidential aspirants actually went to Egypt to study their economy, how things are run over there. And now hearing that Egypt themselves have increased the price in fuel, it shows that what is happening is a global something. It's not peculiar to a particular region or country. According to them, the high cost of importing energy is the major cause of them increase. If they continue in their own normal way they have been selling the normal price, it will be very hard for them to be able to run the economy.
Definitely. So
the only way they will be able to measure up and try to tackle this issue is by increasing the prices of the price of fuel. If not, they feel it is only in this region they will be able, not that they cannot increase other sector of the economy, but it's only here that they feel they will be able to
get something substantial.
They'll be able to get something substantial.
Wow. I mean, it was reported on the 6th of March 2024 that Egypt's central bank reported the reception of a market-based conversion standard after almost an extended time of protecting an overestimated local currency, which coincidentally stimulated an equal market. I mean, from statistics of this and looking into the commercial market, you will see that Egypt had a very strong esteem about their currency. Felt like, it was fine. And many people do not understand that currency depreciation affects a whole lot of things. I mean, let's take Nigeria as a case study. The moment our currency began to drop, the next thing that we saw was that there was hike in prices. Why? It's simple. The moment there is low demand, I guess there is low supply rather, demand automatically is going to be affected. So the moment our currency is dropping down, the price of things has to go up so that we can match up with the the value of our currency. I think that's what's happening in Egypt at the same way. Their currency depreciated. They also had to at the same way increase the prices of their fuel and the commodities. Anyway, the pound's true rate tumbled from the pound's true rate tumbled from about 31 to 51 for each dollar. Can you imagine? That's moving about close to 100%. That's over 50%. If he moved from 31 to 51 per each dollar, prior to valuing by almost 10% lately at the financial area, started getting huge inflow of unfamiliar cash as indicated by the government. Finally, the fuel price hikes are expected to further affect consumer purchasing power and inflation rate. For instance, last month, the annual urban inflation rate jumped to 35.7% from 29.8%. Imagine such hike in just, I mean, just less than a month.
The thing is, this will tell you how far this have affected their economy. And if nothing is being done from the forecast, it will keep getting worse by the month. Look at the statistics for last month, and look at how far this month has gone also. So you begin to imagine what will happen. And from the news, it has also affected other stocks in the market. Things are on the high.
For instance, the cost of food alone has increased by 51% in February from a year earlier. Just like you said, the high cost price, everything has affected even to the conditions of the people themselves.
So I think Africa leaders should find a way to come together, not just talking about security. We should be talking on how to preserve our local currency.
Definitely.
We should be talking about some of these things we are importing, but because the dollar is high and our local currency is low, you know, we tend to use everything we have to get that product down, and at the end of the day, it affects us.
Definitely.
So we should begin to think on how we can be able to, like this importation of fuel and energy, what are the other ways we can actually get this energy without importing them?
True.
So that we'll be able to make use of what we have, our local content, to create something that will be beneficial to us, not depending on the European countries to always come to our aid.
Our rescue. True.
So and I think the earlier the better, because they need to really do something. Because I was reading through and they said that even the parliament in Egypt, they were delaying in coming out with a solution to this, and that was why this thing was made through a Facebook page. You can imagine that. So the Egyptian government should actually do something about it, because it will affect the citizens.
Definitely.
It will affect the citizens. And coming back to where they were before will become hard. We know the normal perspective in Africa that once stock is high, bringing it down to where it was before becomes very hard to do. So they really need to do something so that this April, the coming month, things will be able to stabilize a little bit
and things better. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, just like you said, I think after a lengthy negotiation, Egypt and the IMF agreed earlier, that was this month, March, I beg your pardon, March, to raise the bailout from $3 billion to $8 billion. What I mean is that Egypt received a lifeline last month, February 2024, when the United Arab Emirates, that's the UAE, announced a $35 billion investment project along the Mediterranean Sea. Can you see here that one of the most important things, and I mean, happened to Egypt this last month, February, is they were rescued, but not by an individual. An investment. You see, now, so that means the moment the UAE decided to invest in Egypt, on the Mediterranean Sea, that $35 billion, like you said, came as an influx, as an additional, add value to the country, and that alone, I believe that can create a change, can make things work for them. So, what do you think about that? I mean, that lifeline that came from UAE of $35 billion. How do you think it can help the country?
I think that Egypt, they are so lucky.
Definitely.
At least they have something that UAE needs.
Can invest in.
I
personally, I don't think it's luck. I think it's just them having the right thing. Why is that going to come to other African countries? Maybe they have what Egypt needs, and they had what UAE and they came there.
So, and it came at the right time.
Definitely.
When they needed help most. Yeah. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing to always have something that other countries, especially the European and Arab country, would need from us. selling all those things outrightly to them. But
they come and invest in.
Let them come and invest on this. Then with whatever they will be coming in with, will go a long way in alleviating the suffering of the masses. That is just the truth. I'm so happy for Egypt, and if other countries will emulate UAE, look for something in a way to help out the government of Egypt, I think it will go a long way in making sure that the citizens feel breathe a fresh air.
Definitely. Wow, thank you so much. You've heard it. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael. And now you have from Stanificent Newsroom another detailed report, another detailed discussion that you've had. Please make sure that you stay with us next time for another episode as we bring to you happenings around Nigeria and the world at large.
That's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you back here next time for more news coverage. Stanificent Newsroom, bringing all things new.